So about 20 years ago, I had made a list of my favorite songs and my favorite movies and my favorite sports and all sorts of things. And I decided to make a list of my favorite things. Like in my life, I was about 70 years old. I wanted to make a list of my most favorite thing and my second most favorite thing and my third most favorite thing, and just see how long the list got. So I remember that number 2 was downhill powder snow skiing in Utah in March. And one of the things I really like about snow skiing is that all day from the time you get up in the morning or you go skiing at 9 and ski till 5, and so the whole day is about talking and listening and actions. And so if you think about football or tennis or whatever, snow skiing is the best sport in the world for riding on a chair real quietly through the trees, and you can look out at the whole beautiful area and talk to some person that you know or some person that you never saw before. And so if you went skiing with no legs, you didn't even have to ski. You could go out there and ride the chairlifts all day and just have this beautiful life, just riding chairlifts. One of the fun things I did was, I would say to someone, I had coffee with a songwriter in Austin, Texas last week. What I'd like to do is sing a line from one of his songs, and you'll know who I had coffee with. And they kind of figured their way out of that, you know. I'd say, okay. And I would go, I met a man, Bojangles, and he danced for you. Everybody's heard that song, and you have fun. And probably for the rest of the day, that person is saying, I met the weirdest guy. So Scott, I am privileged to have met you and made a suggestion, you know, that you be my student. Mm-hmm. And I really thank you for listening to what I had to say and rejecting the things that didn't work for you and taking on the things that did work for you. Because I think that when you practice something, the thing that most people don't recognize is that when you practice, you're failing. If you want to be correct and not fail, you don't practice, you just are always just right. So thank you for being wrong. Thank you for being willing to question whether or not you should get married, whether or not you should go into construction. So thank you for being my friend and my student and my partner.
I'm thinking about how, in reality, the world is a better place because you're here. And I can go to the extreme of you asked me to do the Landmark Forum. I asked Andrew to do the Landmark Forum, and now Andrew is going to be a Landmark Forum leader. And the difference that you make because of Andrew, because of me. I mean, I know there's no cause and effect, but you know, there is something that if you wouldn't have asked me, we wouldn't have Andrew leading the forum to people, and they wouldn't have these breakthroughs with their lives. You know, it's just, Andrew asked me about it, I said, it's just kind of unfathomable. It's kind of like beyond, kind of boggles the mind. I still don't know why I said, you to get why I said yes to you is very odd for me. And you said I'm your coach, you need a coach, and I'm it. And the thing I do say is you're the first human being that I've ever met that had my interests at heart. Because I've had people tell me things that you've said before, but something about how you were, who you were being, was completely different. And I got that you were for me. And I gave myself over to you. And I still give myself over to you. I still give myself to you and what you have to say. I find you have wisdom, and I don't mean from what you know, but from who you're being. So I thank you for that. I have a life that I would never had if it weren't for you. I have a family. I lead seminars. I mean, if we look at that, I lead seminars, and I've led like 35 seminars, you know.
I really like the word lucky in relation to looking back on a life well lived or not well lived, in that there's two kinds of luck. There's good luck and bad luck. And I really like the idea that going to that meeting where we met and asking you to do the forum and all those things, to a large degree had some luck in it. And I think that helps us with the ego. And we have a lot of trouble with the ego. And when we can allow luck to be something that we talk about, then I think it makes things smoother.
So the other thing which you might find interesting is not only who you were being, but one time you and I went skiing. It was me, you, and Mary. We all went skiing, and we were staying at a hotel, which was a breakthrough for me to like just because I just don't like staying with. I don't like to be in other people's space or share space with people usually. And I think we woke up and you started massaging Mary's feet and saying, I do this every morning. And I think I was like, what do you do when you don't want to do it? And he's like, I just do it anyway. You know, like I'm here to make a difference, massaging Mary's feet. And all that whole world just started shifting for me, that I could make a difference for people even if I didn't feel like it. From watching you massage Mary's feet. So it's like a practice. It's not just talking about it, it's walking the walk, and it's who you're being, and you know, something that simple. Or the 50 to 100 times I've seen you go into Whole Foods and talk to people that you don't know. And then I always say I would never do that, but now I have watching you do it so many times, I have that ability to talk to anybody in the world, even if I don't want to, because I know it can make a difference.
Mm-hmm. When you look at the mind and the way it works, I was heading for Barton Springs a couple of days ago to go out on the diving board and dive in the water before a yoga class, and the radio said the temperature is 33 degrees. And normally it's about 45 or 55, and I said, well, that's just too cold. And I turned my car and went to another place and got some coffee and talked to somebody, but I didn't have to go jump off that diving board, because my life was no longer about demonstrating or performing or being brave or showing off. It's quite common in our boxing class to have everybody say their name, so they'll say, shout out your name, because the Parkinson people are kind of hoarse and not very loud. I see Betty and Don and Charlie and Bob and Fast Eddie. And so, you know, when I say Fast Eddie, each person says their own name, I'll say Fast Eddie. At some level it seems childish and absurd and stupid, but it rattles the situation. See, it cracks the situation a little bit, so that Leonard Cohen said there's a crack in everything, and that's how the light gets in. And when Dr. Epperson can go to Fast Eddie, then that's like rubbing Mary's feet. Possibility.
Yeah, and I also want to, I don't think this is, maybe it is acknowledgement, I'm not really sure. I just want to let you know, I really enjoy how much we skied together. And I really enjoy playing tennis with you. Like both those were rebirths for me. You know, I skied when I was younger, played tennis when I was younger, and then I don't even know what year it was that you and I played a lot for 3 or 4 years, and we entered tournaments and just really had a great time together. Like it was just fun. Like life became fun again. I listened to a tape that Warner put out. Can you clean the toilet and wash the dishes with just such joy that you boggle your mind? Enjoy whatever's in front of you. Can you bring joy to whatever you're doing?
Mhm.
That's transformation, bring joy to whatever's in front of you.
Yeah. He could actually say that you can wash the dishes so that it affects people that live in the next town would
Yeah.
be changed, and they would be going, boy, this is a good day. And they hadn't done anything. Something I want to pick up on that almost got away was I registered you and you registered Andrew, and then thousands and thousands of people will benefit from that.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a man involved in this that y'all never met, and he never met you, and his name was Benjamin Glover Epperson. And he was born in 1910, in January the 20th, is his birthday, and it's coming up real soon, and my oldest daughter's born on January the 20th. But that guy would go up to anybody and talk to them. And so when I was a little kid, my dad would talk to anybody about anything.
Well,
And so I thought that men were supposed to be brave and talk to people, and women weren't. And so I didn't call women to account for talking to people. But when you and I first started talking, and you recognized that I was unique or extraordinary, you never met my dad. See? So if you really wanted to thank the guy, you can thank Werner, and you can thank my dad, and thank Buckminster Fuller, and thank people. But you thank the people that you can recognize were part of the deal.
Yeah, I do thank your dad. Maybe there's some really beautiful. I know some things we inherit from our parents. Maybe we aren't the best, but maybe there's a lot that's really great about our parents that we get to celebrate.
The word memetics and memes, allows you to kind of see that you have brain patterns in a particular area. Like somebody might say, let's go dancing. You say, no, I don't want to go dancing. Or, okay, let's go dancing. And it's all programmed in. Like if you just think about I am love or I am hate. When I practice hate, I'm hate. When I practice love, I'm love. So I am what I practice is real simple. You don't have to do calculus or be a millionaire to be able to say, I am what I practice. When I'm 10 years old, when I'm 30 years old, when I'm 50 years old, when I'm 60 years old, who I am is not my money, bank account, it's what I practice.
I have lots of acknowledgments. I have one more that might be surprising for you. One of the biggest things I got out of doing the Landmark Forum was a new relationship with my brother, my younger brother. On a scale of 0 to 10, it was probably a -1. Like it didn't even exist for me. And it's been a 10 since the Landmark Forum, and I've never had to do anything about it. Like I told the truth about what I saw and how I'd been, and I did it, and it's one of the best breakthroughs I've ever had. And it expanded from there, that I just want you to know that you've made, without you knowing it, you've made my mom so happy. My mom is so complete that I have a relationship with my brother. And how much I respect him. I think she was so concerned for so many years and she never said anything, but she gets how much I love him and respect him when I didn't even know. He was in the, So my mom's really complete. Maybe as a parent now, maybe I can get it, but I don't know. I guess I could get it why she would care so much.
Someone says that you can only be as happy as your happiest child or your saddest child. And that's not true, but it's kind of interesting to just notice that parents generally and maybe always want the best for their kids. It's an easy want. To produce the results is difficult. You call it A-frame, But we can hug realizing that we're homosexual or we're heterosexual or we're asexual. And what difference does it make when you're
Yeah.
hugging?